for joining in. So to start with, I will give you an introduction. I am Leckranee. I am a holistic coach and an intuitive healer. Uh, Before being what I do now or being who I am now, I was a chief financial officer in a French multinational, which I left. And then I am here as a healer. And I am doing my best to be human and to be in the human world, which is very interesting. So today we're going to talk about why most of us struggle to live in the moment and what belief are there that doesn't allow you to live in the moment. So as an introduction, we often hear people. So the way it was going to be, I'm gonna go through the slides and then we're going to discuss whatever is there. I'll choose somebody to do a mini session on you to show you how Theta works, and then I'll give a general download to everyone who is present in this webinar. And thank you very much for joining in. So we often hear people talk about the importance of living in the moment and different ways it will benefit us. It sounds wonderful. We know that we have all been there. We are still there, some of us, especially the lower levels of stress and anxiety. But how exactly can we live in the moment when our mind is constantly worrying about the past and the plans of for the future? So living in the moment, in the present moment, means no longer worrying about what happened in the past and not fearing what will happen in the future. Easy to say, but it's very, some of us find it very difficult to do that. It needs enjoying what's happening now and living for today. Choosing to live in the past or the future not only robs you of enjoyment today, but it also robs you of true living. The only important moment is the present moment. So if you look at quantum, if any of you know about the law of quantum, there is no past, there is no future, everything is in the now. To reach to that level of acceptance and understanding, we need to get rid of limiting beliefs that we have. And those beliefs are there not to harm us, they are there just to protect us and to allow us to move forward in life. So now let's see what is really mean by living in the moment so that we know the exact meaning of living in the moment, because not everybody knows what is living in the moment. So contrary to the popular belief, living in the moment doesn't mean emptying your mind of all sorts. So we have heard it, I have gone through it, where people were telling me live in the moment, and I would thought like I need to stop my mind from thinking, I need to stop everything now, I need to be in the moment. But it rather means focusing on whatever you are doing so as not to be aware of the passing time. So it's living in the moment is actually to be very engaged, to be 100% engaged in the present of what you're doing, to be present in your body, in your mind, and in your spirit, to give this 100% to that moment. In other words, when you're living in the moment, you do not notice the minute hand ticking by, because you're consciously absorbed in action. So that is what I was, you allow yourself to be so absorbed in what are you doing right there that nothing else matters. But unfortunately, life is very fast these days and there are so many things happening around the world. We cannot stop. We have a very racing mind. Our mind goes everywhere. And it's always about what's going to happen next, or what happened, maybe it will happen again. So it's very difficult to be absorbed in that present moment. There is a difference between being absorbed in the present moment and being focused. Being focused also is kind of forcing yourself to do something, but being absorbed in that moment, it's a moment of allowance. And you don't necessarily have to be sitting quietly and still to experience the now. So when I started this journey, I was told that I need to be present in the moment. I thought I need to turn off everything. I need to put my mobile on silent, and I need to be in this meditative state. No, it's not that. Actually, living in the moment is really to be absorbed in that time. How can we say that? In what are you doing at the right moment? If you're sitting and writing, you're so absorbed in writing. that you notice everything. The key is to be emotionally vested in neither past or future. Instead, you might consider the past to be information, knowledge, experience, and the future to be nothing more than a projection of possibilities. So this is what is the key. You are required, you allow yourself to be really physically, emotionally, and spiritually present. The reason why it is so important to be in the moment, obviously because of various reasons and advantages that it brings to us. So let's talk about why it is so important to be living in the moment. The first thing is better health. By reducing stress and anxiety, you may avoid many of the associated health consequences, such as high blood pressure, heart diseases, and obesity, as well as improving psychological well-being. So not being able to be absorbed in what you're presently doing and your mind going everywhere in your past, in your future, it brings lots of stress and anxiety because you have always, it's like you have to multitask. And in one moment, there are so many things happening. Obviously, as a human, at some point, this will get to you because it increases the level of stress because you seems that you have to be in control of everything that is happening around you. So when you are living in the moment, it improves your health. And second is improves your relationship. So it is difficult. Being with unavailable people is a struggle, and building relationship with them is extremely difficult. So when you are with someone who cannot be in the present moment and you cannot share that moment with that person, you feel that you're there but you're not recognized, you're not heard, you're not seen. So obviously you're going to feel rejected at some point, and then it's extremely difficult to build relationship with those kind of people who cannot be in the present moment but they are all over the show. It brings lots of misunderstanding. Sometimes you have said something, you have not heard you, and then you feel that they don't care, but actually it's because they cannot be in that specific moment and give 100% of themselves. And being in the present moment also allow you to have a greater self-control. You have greater control over your body, your mind, your emotions, and you're not at the mercy of a racing mind. So the reason why we have a racing mind, because we just want to be in the past. We want to overanalyze what happened so that we don't repeat the same mistake in the future. And then we want to know what is gonna happen next. But by doing that, what is happening now, we just completely forget about it. And not being able to live in the moment, it's also because we worry a lot. Humans, we worry a lot. For everything there is a worry. So why do we worry? Worry is part and parcel of fear, and fear is a protective mechanism of humans, but both in excess are not healthy. It's true. Fear can destroy your life if it is in excessive, because you will stop living if you have too much fear. You will stop living, you will miss opportunities, your relationship will be in chaos. I did a webinar last week, was about fear, worry, and doubt. So if anybody is interested, you can check it on Facebook. On Illumination, it's there. So to continue, we need to continue this webinar. It's very important for us to distinguish what is worrying and what is concern. We all choose to have concern. It's important to have concern as a human because you're living on a planet. There are things to be done. There's things to be accomplished. You have a life, you have bills to pay, you have a job to finish, you have family, you have kids, you have yourself to take care of. So it's very important to understand what is the difference of being worried and what is the difference of being in concern. So let's check that first. When we are concerned about something, we are more likely dealing with a real problem with realistic solutions. Then once we do whatever we can address the problem, we are willing to live with the outcome. This is concern. So it's very realistic. You have realistic problem, you have real problem, you have real solution, you have an outcome, and you accept the outcome, whatever it will be. Whereas worrying, on the other hand, involves unrealistic thinking. We may worry about a problem that doesn't even don't really exist, or dwell on all the bad things that can happen as a result. Then we are unable to deal with the outcome. So if we worry, which is true, worry comes with things that are not even there. We are just, it is just based on past experiences that we had, or we are so worried about the future that we bring scenarios that doesn't even exist, and we go into the worst case scenario. And if there is an outcome out of all of this, we just can't deal with it because it's so unrealistic. And what it does, brings you stress and anxiety. It robs your happiness, to be very honest. Uh, because if you worry on an excessive level, you are more worried than concerned, then it means that even if there is nothing there, you go and you create something. And as we all know, the universe reads our thoughts, not our voice, not our affirmation, not our writing. The universe reads our thoughts. So worrying is bringing the worst case scenario of everything that is happening in your life. So what are you telling the universe? That you like whatever you are thinking about, so your universe will give you more of that. So because this is how the universe understands. That's why you hear people saying, no, but you need to change your thought patterns, you need to think more positive. That is the reason why when you think more positive, the universe will replicate that back to you in abundance. But it's not that easy as people say, just change your thought patterns. You have this thoughts pattern because of limiting beliefs. You have beliefs in your subconscious that force you to be on having excessive worry. So now we're gonna go, and I'm gonna list all the limiting beliefs that I came across with all my clients during my theta session, where most of them has those beliefs that keeps them on a worrying, excessive worrying loop. So we have fear. We have fear of rejection, fear of being unworthy, fear of being judged and criticized. We have fear of failure, fear of the unknown. The fear of the unknown, that is why we always create scenarios, what's going to happen in the future. Because we have these fears based on previous experiences, some might not be even ours, but they keep us on constant worry. You may have a belief based on your previous experiences that learning something new is hard and it will change your routines. You will have to learn again and get adjusted with new routines where you might fail or be criticized or judged by others. So it comes back to the fear of being judged, criticized, fear of failure. So you are scared to try something new. You are worried if at your workplace they say there will be changes. There will be changes in the software you're using. There will be changes in the working instrument, because you have the fear of failure. And if you think that I'm going to fail, people are going to judge and criticize me. You also have a belief time is limited or there is not enough time. You are constantly fighting with the clock, made the most of it. If not, you fear life will be over soon. You might miss opportunities or be left behind by others. This is where people are always saying that they always work to be ahead of time. So they like beating time. Beating time looks very, very attractive in the beginning. I was in corporate. I know what it is meant by beating time, because you have deadline, you have this and that. So you think by beating the time, you will be more successful. It gives you a temporary success, but it takes away your health, because if you're constantly trying to beat time, you're going to be in stress and anxiety, because you're fighting something that doesn't even exist, because time is an illusion. So most of the people these days, we go through it because life is very hectic. We are expected to do more with whatever we have. So we constantly worry of not being able to fulfill that. And we are constantly worried that time is not enough for us to deliver what we are supposed to be delivering. So we constantly fear, we have fear. And you might have a belief that you will repeat the same mistake of the past in the future, or the future is a burden. Your head gets fogged with too many scenarios that you cannot engage fully being in the present moment. So some people, they like their present life to be validated by their past life, and they want their past not to be repeated in your future. So they live in that loop. So whatever they are doing now, they need that validation from the past. So when I did it before, what happened? What was the outcome? What did I get out of it? And then it might be the same, it might be the same scenario, but the experiences can be different. So instead of experiencing that different experience, you go back into the past and you ask the past to validate that for you, so that you want to change the future actually, but you're missing out living in the present, because the future is the possibilities. It is infinite. You can have any possibilities by making the choice of the making of the choices now. But unfortunately, the choices of now, we give those choices to be validated of what happened in the past. So some people are also have fearful. They say that I'm not allowed to make mistake. I cannot make mistake because I need to be to the perfection. They are always seeking the perfection, the perfection, the perfection. We are human. We are all allowed to make mistake. And what actually we think are mistake are actually lessons. We are learning from them. But since we have been taught like that, and we have been judged and criticized when we were going through that experience of learning through mistake, collectively on a consciousness, on a collective consciousness, we were judged. We were judged by our family, we were judged by our friends. So we constantly keep that fear. Oh no, I'm going to be judged, I'm going to be criticized, everything has to be perfect, I cannot repeat the same mistake, I cannot do the same thing that what I did, I need validation, I need validation. So that is a constant vicious loop, and which brings obviously stress and anxiety all the time. And you might also have the need to control every bits and pieces of your life, because this is how you have been taught or you have learned to move forward in life. So there is two things. Being in control of every bits and pieces in your life brings you a large amount of stress. I've been there. I know when I wanted to control everything that was happening around me. It is impossible. You cannot control everything that is happening around you. There are certain things that are out of your control. You have to learn to let it go. And I always say be in alignment instead of being controlled. But some people, this is the way they have learned. They have learned to be. So if they think that they don't control each and every bit of their life will fall apart. Others will control them. They cannot achieve in life. They cannot move forward in life. So they have to be in constant control. You cannot control everything that is happening around you, because in that reality, you have other people as well, and they are creating their own reality. So, and then when you're constantly in control, uh, you feel like you always have to be there. You have to answer this message. You have to pick up this call. You cannot say no to people. You don't have boundaries, but you just say, okay, I have to do this because I have to be in control. I have to be controlled. And we also have the fear. So some of us might have the fear that if I'm not in control of my life, I might be replaced. And I am sure many people are going through this with this pandemic, especially at work, where you feel you need to give 200% of yourself to your job, because if you don't do it, you will be replaced. So there is that fear as well, that I will be replaced. So I have to be in control of everything that is happening around me, because believe it or not, most of the people on this planet has given their job their worthiness. So without their job, they don't exist, which is not, that is also a belief, which is not real. Your worthiness is you. You create a life. You're the co-creator of your life. Nothing else can create your life. But unfortunately, we have given power to everything around us to manage our reality. And then we keep on managing that reality by controlling bits and pieces of our life. And we have collective consciousness as well. Collective consciousness tells you that you need to control your life, and you need to make sure that everything is perfect. You need to make sure that you deliver what is being asked from you. Bosses will tell you you're paid for this job, so you have to deliver. And there is this constant fear of being, so society has all, if you live in a society where you are constantly judged and criticized, let apart society, we ourselves, we judge ourselves and criticize ourselves 24/7. Everything we do, we judge ourselves, and then we judge ourselves for judging ourselves. So this is what we do. I have done access consciousness as well. In access consciousness, they tell you that judgment is evil. True, judgment is evil, because if you constantly judge yourself, you constantly criticize yourself, because you have the fear of being judged and criticized, so you worry. So if you constantly judge and criticize yourself, you'll never be happy, because you will always find a problem with yourself. There will be always that gap between I should be happy with what I am, how I am. There will be constantly this urge of seeking. Then you seek your happiness outside of you. You seek your peace outside of you. You seek for your joy outside of you, because this is how you have learned to be. So in theta healing allows us to shift all the belief, all the limiting belief that we have, and we replace those limiting belief by positive ones, so that you can have a more amazing and pleasant life. You can be content with yourself. You can have more clarity to move forward. You can manifest the life that you desire, and your relationship are healthy. You can get your, if you're in toxic relationship, your relationship will shift. You will have the clarity to move out of that relationship. And because everything that we have in our life, it might feel that I don't know why I have this, but everything we have in our life, whether it is a positive belief or a negative belief, everything is serving us. And all our beliefs are in our subconscious level. There are 4 levels of belief. The first level is the core level, which is this lifetime, the time you were conceived in your mother's womb up to you were 7 years old. You were given belief by your parents, by society, by school, by friends. So up to you are 7 years old, there is no filter between your subconscious and your consciousness. So everything that is told to you, everything that you experience, everything that you see, you have accepted them as being true. And those beliefs stay in your subconscious, and it manages your life. So as an adult, your life is on autopilot. Your whole life is managed by your subconscious. So, and your subconscious is not your enemy. Your subconscious is trying its best to keep you alive, to keep you safe, to keep you going in life. So whether a belief is limited or it's not limited, whether it's doing you good or it's harming you, your subconscious doesn't know that. Your subconscious cannot distinguish between that. Your subconscious know that I have to keep this person alive, I have to keep this person safe, and I have to allow this person to continue this journey and to continue this life. This is what your subconscious know. And there is another level which is called the soul level. So a number of times you have incarnated on this planet and you have learned, your soul has picked up those beliefs as well. And you have genetic belief, which means that in your DNA, you're carrying 7 ancestral belief, which means your ancestors, whatever they have learned, you're carrying their limiting beliefs as well. So that affects your life, and subconsciously, you are not even aware of it. And then we have history level, which is an amalgam, which is a mixture of all of this, which are there. And then this is where people go and do past life regression and everything. So theta healing, we collapse timeline on quantum, and then we go and we shift this belief, we replace them with positive ones, so that there can be a shift in your life and you can move forward, you have clarity, you can achieve your goals, you can manifest the life you want and everything. So what is theta healing? Theta healing technique is a meditation technique utilizing a spiritual philosophy with the purpose of improvement in mind, body, and spirit, while getting closer to the creator of all that is. So who is the creator of all that is? Creator of all that is, or creator, which encompasses energy of all that is, universal intelligence, source, the divine, universal love, collective consciousness. This energy is all around us and within us. So on an energy level, our physical body doesn't exist. It is an illusion. So Theta Healing, we work on an energy level, because this is how we go and we shift our beliefs. It is called Theta Healing because the meditation takes you into a theta brainwave, which is a very deep state of relaxation, which allows connection with the energy of all that is. It is not hypnosis. When I am doing a session on you, I am holding that space for you. You have all the answers. I just asked the question. So you are fully aware of what is happening to you and what happened to you and how you're shifting it. So you are well aware. It's like changing your subconscious, being conscious. This is what is Theta Healing. Being in the relaxation state and connected with the energy of all that is, we do what we call belief and feeling work. So for us to be able to shift a belief, it's very important to know what feeling is attached to that and what emotion is attached to that. So every feeling comes from an emotion. Every emotion is from an experience, and every experience become a belief system, and a belief system become a habit. So if we want to shift, we go down to the feeling. What feeling does it bring you? How does it make you feel? Because we are humans. Emotion is ingrained in our DNA. That is the beauty of being human. When people tell you you're not allowed to express your emotion, this is very unhealthy, because we are told if you cry, you're not allowed to express your sadness, because if you cry, people will say you're weak. You're not allowed to express your anger, because people will say you're rude. You're not allowed to say that, I am not feeling well, because people will think you're sick. So our society has put lots of judgment around emotion. Like my mom was telling me when I was a child, don't be so happy, because people will put a eye on you. So I associated happiness to be something dangerous. So how can I be happy? I am not. I've removed that, because I was so scared when I was happy that I would remember what my mom said, and because of that fear, I would attract situation where I have to cry the next day. And I was like, my mom was right, but actually she was not. It's just because I believe what she said was true. So I started attracting situations that would reinforce that belief. So this is what we do on Theta Healing. So now I would ask all of you to ask question if you have any question, before I get somebody who is volunteer to do a mini session. If nobody is volunteer to do a session, we can do a theta meditation. Is there any question anybody want to ask? And those who are the video or not on, if it is okay with you, you can put your video on, because it's a very interactive webinar. I like to talk to people, to be very honest. Yes, tell me.
So you are talking about, the certain conditioning that we experience through our like childhood.
Yeah.
And then as an adult, I do wonder, because some things are very like imprinted in our system.
Yes.
That how, this might be a stupid question as well, but how do we notice that, for example, I cannot be angry, I shouldn't be angry. So because it's so natural for us now to understand,
yes,
of worrying, worrying, how can we pull ourselves out of it?
Yes, so that is what Theta Healing does. If you get angry, actually anger is a secondary emotion. It's not even primary. We are angry, it's because either we have a trauma that has not been healed, or we have a wound that is still there and asking us, you know what, I am here, work on me. So to be very honest, I'll take my own example. Before I became a healer, the reason I became a healer, I was a ticking bomb. Everything would just make me angry. Even a guy on the parking, he wouldn't have said anything to me, but just looking at him, I would be angry, because I had lots of trauma. That is one of the reasons why I became a healer, because being angry became it was part of my existence and of my personality. But it's not healthy. It was getting to my health. So We need to understand why you're angry to start with. It is associated to a trauma, and that trauma is asking you, you need to heal me, then I will let you go. It is the same as fear. Why do we have fear? We have fear to keep ourselves safe and protected from something. But we need to go down and find out what happened to you that you don't feel safe and protected around the situation, around people. You know, people, sometimes we have fear, we don't even know from where it comes from. We just fear. Like some people have fear of commitment in relationship, and they are not in a relationship, right? But they have fear of commitment because they tell you, no, I cannot be in a relationship. But then when you go and ask the person, but are you in a relationship? Have you been hurt? No, I have never been, but I don't want to be in a relationship because I fear commitment. But why do you fear commitment? So what I love about Theta is that what it seems to be is not really what it is. So when I work on people, there were people who came to me and told me, I'm scared of dying. Because death is a very natural process. We one day we are born, and then we have all this experience, and then we die. He told me, no, I am scared of dying. So I told him, but why are you scared of dying? When we digged on him, actually, he was not scared of dying. For him, death means that he will be all alone. He will be left behind. He will be forgotten by his family when he dies. So actually, dying, the process was not the scary part, but the part was that if I die, I will be forgotten. So when you dig down, what happened to him? It seems that when he was a child, he was lost in a mole, and then they never came to fetch him the day he was lost. So he had fear of being abandoned and fear of being forgotten. So just imagine how traumatic that experience have been to that person. So that person have said, oh, but if I die, it means that they will forget me, because for him it was that experience. So if you're telling me they are ingrained, and they are, yes, they are ingrained in our whole system. So Theta Healing, when you tell me I have this issue and I feel it's a block, and then you will notice if you have a pattern, a repeating pattern. So have you noticed that strong and educated women attract narcissist men in their life? The reason why they do that, it's because they want to prove that they are strong and they can take it all, that they can be who they are. Even if you walk on them, they don't care because they're strong. They need to prove to the world they are strong, they can do it. It's like they need that validation. They need that validation. And then if you go and analyze why they do attract narcissists, well, I was one of them. It's because they want to prove to themselves as well that they don't need a man. That's why they attract men either who are not available, so that the men can walk out in their life from their life, or they accept a narcissist who abuse them, so that they can prove to the world, I am a strong woman. Especially if you come from a family where girls are not allowed to be independent. They do that, and you do it unconsciously. You don't even know. Then people say, but why this woman attract? And you will see that you'll attract the same kind of partners. They look alike. They look alike. And then you ask yourself, but why can I not get away from this? Because you have subconscious belief you need to prove. Because if you come from a place or from a family where you were told that no, girls are not allowed to do that, and you were rebellious and you said, okay, try me, I will do it. So you picked up a belief. So every time you have to prove your strength, it means you need to go through struggle, or you need to have a man who says no to you. That is how we picked it up. Yeah.
I have another question. In terms of, for example, certain mental health conditions, yeah. For example, there's OCD, there's, for example, bipolar, there's the depression. I read somewhere once this is coming from trauma as well. So it's not just, biochemical, but it's coming from somewhere. So do you do this practice with people who have mental health conditions as well?
Because everything is an emotion. There is nothing called disease. What is the meaning of disease? Have you seen how do we write disease? It's DISEASE. So it's an D's in an ease. So as a human, you're supposed to be ease. But when you attract illness, or you attract certain kind of whatever ailment to your body, you are diseasing the ease. And most of the people attract an illness because they get away with many things. Like for us theta healers, cancer doesn't exist. Cancer cancer is somebody attract cancer in their life when they have so much resentment and hatred, and it's stored in their body and it becomes a disease. So I do work with people who have, I would not work with people who are schizophrenic, like to an extent where you cannot talk to them, because theta healing is very therapeutic. You need to be able to talk to that person. But people who are suffering from schizophrenia, some of them are down to the extent that you cannot even have a conversation with them. And I would not tell anybody to stop their medication when I am doing the healing. I would tell them to continue their medication and to use theta healing as an added healing. The reason is because everything is around our emotion. Everything is around our emotion. There is nothing that gets away from our emotion. I will take an example of myself because I'm not allowed to talk about my other client. So my brothers suffer from arthritis. And my mom, I am in Dubai, I'm originally from Mauritius. My mom doesn't want to come and live with me because she preferred to take care of my brother. And I didn't know that. Subconsciously, I asked my body to manifest uric acid, which is a beginning of an arthritis. And I would go to the clinic, get IV and send pictures to my mother and tell my mother, I'm sick now, you don't want to come and see me? And I didn't know that I did that subconsciously to have my mother by my side. And when you go and see who has uric acid, or people who eat red meat on a daily basis, who consume alcohol and who smoke, and I don't do these three things, but I had uric acid. Because subconsciously I understood. So that's what I'm telling you. Your life is managed by your subconscious, and the piloting your life is your 7 years old. That's why it's so important we heal our inner child and our inner parent. It's very, very important, because our inner child will constantly repeat the same pattern again and again, again and again, until we address that problem. So who attracted that disease in my body was my 7 years old, because my 7 years old wanted her mom to be with her, but she didn't know any other way. So she manifested that. But when I worked on myself and I released that, I got well. I was on a maintenance bill because of that. So you can work with people who are mentally not well. Most of the people, what I have noticed, those especially who attract depression in their life, it's a lack of attention and support. And they know by attracting that, they get that support and that attention, and they get away with many things. People don't put pressure on them, because people say, she's not well, he's not well, it's okay. I had a client who had problems in his body while doing his session. I told him, what will happen if you're well? He said, no, but then they will ask me to do too many things. I don't want to do that. So you see how tricky is our subconscious. And then there are people like who goes to an extent. So people who are bipolar, actually, there is a trauma there. The trauma was so huge for one person to take it that they have splitted it. It is the same as multi-personality disorder. In one person, there are several persons, because the trauma was so huge that one person could not take that trauma, and that person decided to split that trauma into different personalities. That is what it is, nothing else. So it comes down to emotion, because you get emotion from traumatic experiences. Is there any question? Anybody want any question? Have I answered to all your questions? You have anything? Was it what you were looking for? Okay. So if we don't have any questions, so I would take, because nobody else is responding, so I would prefer we do a theta meditation. So I will take you guys on a theta state. I will clear you, I will give you downloads so that you feel how it is to work with the energy of all that is. So whoever is here, just make yourself comfortable. Thank you, Anna. Oh, one more question. Oh, no, you can go ahead. Ask me before I start the meditation. Yeah, ask me. You can unmute yourself.
I'm so sorry, I'm holding everyone from the Theta meditation.
No.
How many sessions would be required to see an effect?
The healing is instant because you're working with an energy that created everything in this whole universe and yourself. I witness instant healing all the time. But since we are human, and then if especially you're walking into a childhood trauma, I would suggest somebody to do at least 3 sessions because childhood trauma are very tangled. Like we are like an onion, no? We remove one, there is another one. Then we remove one, there is another one. Childhood trauma are very tangled, and childhood trauma are very ingrained in us, and it makes us the person we are. So I would recommend at least 3 sessions. I recommend all my clients at least 3 sessions. You have any question?
I would like to ask if it can be done online or the person has to be physically.
No. Theta healing. I do all my sessions online. Most of my sessions are online because I am with Illuminations Dubai. So I have clients in Abu Dhabi. Actually, I have clients all around the world. So it can be done online. The effect is the same because remember, all this atom around us is an illusion. So when we connect to that energy, everything goes. So when I will take you to the meditation, you will feel it. You will feel that there is no need for you to be in person. It's good to be in person because, you know, we are human, we are social animal. We like to see people, we like to meet people, we like to feel people, but it is not a requirement. You don't have to be in person. I did 2 sessions this week, which was online for people in Abu Dhabi because they cannot travel to Dubai. No, I can go to Abu Dhabi. So it was online. And a session lasts for 1 hour. So we go for the meditation now? Okay. So I want everyone to make yourself comfortable. You can lie down, you can sit, put your mobile on silent because give this moment to yourself. It's very sacred. You deserve it. Honor yourself. Okay. So I want all of you to close your eyes and take a deep breath in. Inhale from your nose, exhale from your mouth. And when you're exhaling, exhale with a sound. Breathe the breath of life. And now I want you to drop yourself in your heart center. And you see yourself in your heart center. Now I want you to take another deep breath. And let go of everything that is worrying you. A phone call you have to return, your grocery list, dinner you have to eat, you have to cook. Let everything go. Just be aware of this present moment. Be aware of your body. Be aware of your breathing. Just be aware and relax. Now you see this beautiful golden energy in your heart center. And this energy is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. Allow this beautiful energy to go down your legs, down your feet, and it goes down to the heart center of Mother Earth. And from the heart center of Mother Earth, gather that beautiful golden light you can see. And allow it to come up to your feet, through your legs, your hips, And it goes through all your chakras, lighting them like a bulb. Your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye, which is in between your eyes, and it goes on top of your head at your crown chakra. And it becomes this beautiful bubble of light. This is your bubble. Notice the color of that bubble. Now visualize yourself inside that bubble. You're safe and protected inside your bubble. Allow that bubble to leave the place you are now. And it's going toward the roof. And it goes higher and higher and higher into the sky. Allow it to flow higher and higher. You're safe and protected in your bubble. You're going to the stars, the moon, the sun, the galaxies, the planets, the universe. Allow your bubble to go higher and higher and higher. You're safe and protected in your bubble until you reach layers of light. Allow your bubble to go through that layers of light. The first layer is a white light. Then you have a darker white light. You have a brighter white light. And it's a white light again. Allow your bubble to go through that white light. Your bubble is flowing effortlessly. You're safe and protected in your bubble. Allow it to go higher and higher and higher until it reaches a beautiful golden light. Allow your bubble to flow through that beautiful golden light. This is what we call the fifth plane of existence, the plane of the angels, the archangels, the ascended masters, the plane of the divine mother and father. This is the home of your soul. Allow your bubble to flow through this beautiful golden light until it reaches a jelly-like substance. Allow your bubble to flow through that jelly-like substance. This is the sixth plane of existence, the plane of the universal laws. Allow your bubble to flow through the jelly-like substance. And while flowing through the jelly-like substance, you see this beautiful pink light coming towards your bubble. It's a law of compassion. And it's so beautiful, it mesmerizes you. Allow the law of compassion to come around your bubble. You're safe and protected in your bubble. Allow the law of compassion to guide your bubble to another layer of light. And it is a tingling white light. Allow your bubble to go higher and higher and higher into this light. You are on the seventh plane of existence. You are with the creator of all that is. You are with the energy of all that is. Allow your bubble to go higher and higher and higher until you see an opening like a window. Allow your bubble to go through that opening higher and higher. If you can still see people, you can still see houses, buildings, cars, or you can hear music or noise, allow yourself to go higher and higher. Little bit more, little bit more, little bit more. And those who are having trouble of going up, don't be hard on yourself. Just allow, it will take you there. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Yes. Now allow your bubble to dissolve. All you can see around you is a tingling white light. It's all around you, around your hands, around your arms, your feet, your leg. And the more you are with this light, the more relaxed you feel. And the more relaxed you feel, the more you feel you're going to become one with the light. Allow this beautiful energy of all that is to relax you. It relaxes your head. It relaxes your eyes. Relaxes your neck. your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your legs, your knees, and your feet. Now take a deep breath in and say in your heart, I am part of all that is and I'm never separated. I am part of all that is and I'm never separated. And when you're there, breathe normally. Don't stop breathing. Now I'm going to clear all of you. And for me to be able to do that, you need to give me permission. So every time I make a statement, you have to say yes to receive. So do I have the permission? I don't have to hear it, but you just guys say yes, it's fine. So do I have the permission to clear all of you from any negative energy of any name, sort, form, shape, and send everything to God's light? And let's also release from you any judgment, any criticism, any illusion, and any projection of others that you have accepted as a reality. Let's send everything to God's light. And can we also release the definition that you have learned till now, what is living in the moment, and replace it with Creator's definition of living in the moment? Say yes to receive. And let's also, do we have the permission to download each and every cell of your body with unconditional love of the Creator of all that is? Let's clear and align all your chakras. Balance your right and left brain. Balance all the hormone, chemicals, vitamins, minerals in your body and hormones in your body. And let's also balance and align your endocrine system, your circulatory system, your nervous system, your respiratory system, your lymphatic system, your digestive system. Let's also balance your ego self. And do we have the permission to align your physical body with the energy of Mother Earth and align your physical body with your higher self? And your higher self align with the Creator of all that is, that you're part of all that is and you're never separated. And let's download you with the ability to know, to remember, the ability to know, let's download you with the ability to know, to understand, to feel. And let's also teach you that it is your birthright, that you're worthy, you're deserving, it's possible, and it is safe for you to be connected to the Creator of all that is, that the Creator of all that is and God are the same, that you're a precious child of the universe, that the universe always have your back. Say yes to receive, please. Thank you. Do we have the permission to download you with Creator's definition of love, Creator's definition of joy, Creator's definition of happiness, Creator's definition of success, Creator's definition of abundance, Creator's definition of prosperity, Creator's definition of gratitude, Creator's definition of freedom, Creator's definition of kindness, Creator's definition of appreciation, Creator's definition of detachment, Creator's definition of responsibility, Creator's definition of patience, and also download you with Creator's definition of honoring yourself, Creator's definition of living in the moment without any guilt. Would you like to have all of this? Please say yes to receive. Thank you. And let's also download you with Creator's definition of living life and living in the present moment, and find excitement and fun in everything that you do. Please say yes to receive. Do we have the permission to release you from the fear of rejection, the fear of being unworthy, the fear of being undeserving, the fear of not being enough, the fear of being judged and criticized, the fear of failure, the fear of unknown, the fear of change, the fear of time is not enough, the fear of not doing enough, the fear of not putting enough effort. Would you like to have all of this? Please say yes. And let's release all these fears to God's light. Close all your negative receptors and cellulars permanently. And also, do we have the permission to release you from the need and the obligation of proving anything to anyone, including yourself? And let's also release you from the need and the obligation to please everyone by saying yes, to be accepted and to be loved. And let's also release you from the need and the obligation to find time for yourself with guilt. And let's also release you from the need and the obligation to carry guilt to move forward in life. If you like to have all of this, please say yes. Thank you. Would you like us to download you ways that you understand how to relax, that you know how to be smart, that you know how to learn quickly and effortlessly, that you know how to slow down so that you can learn? If you would like to have all of this, please say yes to receive. Thank you. Would you like us to teach you what it feels like that you know how to and you do live your life without doubt? That you know what it feels like that you know how to and you do live your life without anger? That you know what it feels like that you know how to and you do live your life without fear? That you know what it feels like that you know how to and you do live your life without regret? If you would like to have all of this, please say yes. And let's also release you from the need and the obligation to be a victim of life, to live life. And let's also release you from the need and the obligation to be manipulated by others to be loved and accepted. Please say yes to receive all of these. Thank you. Would you like us to teach you what it feels like to live life with a positive outlook? What it feels like to see and have opportunities evolving in a positive way in your life? What it feels like to have clarity and focus to move forward in your life without hardships, struggle, pain, suffering, trauma, chaos, and drama? What it feels like to appreciate, acknowledge, and honor yourself? What it feels like to choose to feel blessed, be grateful, exciteful, thankful, and happy? Would you like to have all of these? Please say yes to receive. Let's download you with the ability to know, to understand, to feel. And let's also teach you that it is your birthright, that you're worthy, you're deserving, it's possible, and it's safe for you to have all of this from the definition, perception, and interpretation of the creator of all that is. And let's also download all of this at all your 4 belief levels across time and space, in between life dimension and realities, in any spoken, written, or learned languages. And all your positive receptors and cellulars are open to receive this download with ease and grace. Where there is no receptors and cellulars, they have been created. And all these downloads are for your highest and your greatest good. Thank you, Creator. It is done, it is done, it's done. Please show me. Now I want you all to imagine yourself being washed into a waterfall of light. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in and open your eyes and share your experience. Anyone would like to share? Yeah. Unmute yourself. Okay, wait. I will unmute you. Just give me 1 second. Unmute. Here you go. Unmute yourself.
Yeah. There was a lot. There was a lot of downloads. But yeah, I wanted to say thank you. It was very nice to have that.
You're welcome.
Safe.
So did you feel receiving them?
I think I was absorbing all the information to receive that healing, but I could see like a little bit of light coming down. It wasn't very strong for me, I think, because I was trying to follow you as well at the same time. But yeah, I think maybe something maybe something very light.
Mm-hmm. How are you feeling? Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I feel very happy after that.
So you have received them because some of you had resistance in receiving the belief that in receiving the download. That's why I was saying that if people are having trouble imagining anything, just let it go, because I could feel the resistance. But
Oh,
it's okay. It's normal to have resistance because we like to give sense to everything. That is why.
do you know who had resistance?
It would be one of you because it's a collective energy. I know one of you had because I could feel it. So whatever I said, it's according to what is the energy of this group. There are certain things that is not in my paper, but I am told to give to all of you because I'm working with the energy of all that is. So I completely surrender myself because we can even hear my voice is not the same when I am in that state and when I am now. So I could feel there was a little bit of resistance. So that's okay because it was the first time. It is something that, because we don't believe in miracles, isn't it? Most of us. But this is miracle. Miracle is instant. So we don't believe. So if you have issues in believing that miracle exists, that magic exists, because you have to give it a sense, you will be a bit skeptical to accept this. But you can see your energy has changed. Anybody else would like to share, or you can write it. You can write it on the comment. My friend Anna said, as always, I cried. Yeah, I know. Fine, no problem. Yeah, you would have resistance even if you say yes. You would have. Even if you say yes, you would have resistance. It's normal. You can unmute yourself. Yes, Elisa, we have already done the meditation when you join. You can watch it on replay. Anyway, it will be on Facebook. You join at the time we finish the meditation. Is there anybody who would like to share anything? How would I help to unblock someone? Can you unmute you? You cannot? Maybe they must. Wait. Here, unmute yourself now.
Yeah, so just
so the way you can unblock somebody is to work with the feeling. If somebody has a situation in their life, you need to tell them how does that makes them feel, and then you will go down to the time. It will go down to the time when it happened the first time. This was the first time when that experience became the belief. Then you need to go to that time and ask them, how is it serving them? What they are learning from it, because they are learning something positive out of it. You're either learning to be strong or you're learning something else, but you're learning something positive out of that experience. So the way you unblock it, you teach the person all the positive learning and you let go of all the negative one. Yeah. So this is how we do. On a session, it is easy to unblock someone because here it is a collective and there was no one who was volunteering for a mini session. I did other webinars. You can check. I will ask Illumination to send you. We did other session where people volunteered to do a session. So I did a session on them. So you can see how a session is done. So on a session, it's easy to unblock someone because it's specifically to that person. So that person will tell you they had this experience, they learned this, but then they suffered, or it was traumatic, or so you just take the positive one and you let go of the negative emotions, the trauma and everything. Does that make sense? Okay. So then
also I see some people are crying and then some people are yawning. I was yawning.
Yeah, yawning means the energy is rotating in you. Yawning is good sign. Anna cries all the time. She's my friend. So
So good.
as long as Anna cries, I am happy. So it means that it has an effect. So Zanat asked, how do we get rid of resentment? So Zanat, my love, resentment is an emotion that keeps us grounded on planet Earth. So the way you get rid of resentment, you need to know why you're resenting that person, what that person has done to you. Because we normally resent either a situation or we resent a person. And most of the resentment we have is against our parents. And to be very honest, we have chosen those parents before we came here. We wanted to have them as our birth parents because they had lessons to teach us. So we need to know why are you resenting that person, what that person has made you experience that you're resenting, and why you can't let go of that resentment, how that resentment is serving you, what it is fixing in your life. Do you keep that resentment to keep on you reminding you of the same trauma so that you don't repeat it again? Is it keeping you safe, or is it keeping you revengeful toward that person? What are you trying to fix in your life with that resentment? Yeah, we can let resentment go. Actually, revenge, resentment, regrets, and grudges, and also rejection are the 5 R's that doesn't allow us to manifest the life that we desire to manifest a lot. So you need to know why are you resenting. When I started this journey, I made a list of people and situation I resented. And don't forget, you resent yourself as well. So you need to do a forgiveness exercise to forgive yourself for resenting yourself. Does that make sense to you? Does it answer to your question? Because until you don't understand the learning, you cannot let go of the resentment. Because there was a learning there. You can unmute yourself now, Zanat.
Okay, thank you.
Does it answer to your question?
Yes.
Okay, now we have Deborah. Deborah is saying that my brain had difficulty accepting not a negative word, not a victim, or not guilt, etc. I resisted to that. When it was positive word, it was easier to visualize and to accept. The reason why you cannot accept the word not, because you have been told no many times in your life. You hate that word because for you, no, not is a rejection and you hate that. I know you were resisting. I knew there was resistance. So we need to know why you don't like the word not or no. Probably you are not aware of it, but you don't like it. Because it's about when you were a child, if you constantly, you would have asked something from your parent. If the first answer would be no, no, you cannot have it. No, you cannot do this. So so what you would do is that you would have accepted the word not and no as being your enemy. So you need to fight this enemy. You need to rebel against this enemy because this is the only time you can be yourself or you can do what you desire to do. That is the reason why you could not accept the downloads, which is not rare or it's not doable. It happened to everyone. So when you look at the situation, it might be the same situation, but the way it is interpreted based on the experience of that person toward the situation, this is where the whole difference is. Because somebody might resent a situation, but you might feel it unoffensive and you will say, but why that person is resenting it? Because it is based on your reality and your experience with that situation and with that person. That is where the whole difference is. That's why when you walk into a one-to-one session, this is answer to your question as well. How do we unblock people? So when you walk into a one-to-one session, then we ask the person, it always comes down, how did it make you feel? How were you feeling at that time? How that person made you feel, how that situation made you feel. Then the person will tell you, I was angry, I was this, I was that. And then we will ask the person, but when you're feeling all of this, what do you think you learned positively out of it? Then somebody will tell you, my mother or my father was not emotionally available for me when I was a child. Then you will ask, how does that make you feel? I was angry, I was upset, I felt unwanted, I felt rejected. But what did you learn positively out of it? I learned how to take care of myself. I learned how to take care of my emotions. So what were you trying to learn? You were trying to learn to be independent. So Zen will teach you. Would you like to know how to be independent, how it feels like to be independent from the definition, perception, and interpretation of the creator was artist, without you having to feel rejected, unwanted. So then when you get this positive learning, so what is the effect of these downloads? When I am giving you these downloads, it is rewiring your neurons. So you know our neurons are pathways for our souls. When you give yourself positive downloads, they rewire. So if you had, like, somebody is learning how to be independent through feeling rejected, so it's like it's going straight, then it does a roundabout, and then it go to being independent. So when I'm rewiring it, it means that if I am teaching you how to be independent without feeling rejected, it means that it is becoming a straight way. If you guys have the opportunity, watch the documentary by Dr. Bruce Lipton, who is a scientist and a spiritual guy as well. He has done a beautiful documentary called The Biology of Belief. And he tells you how our belief, which people thought was biology, actually is not biology, but it's our belief. Our DNA is not changed by our parents, by our genetics. Our DNA is changed by our environment. He will talk to you about a case where a girl was adopted by a family. She never knew she was adopted. Her mother suffered cancer. And the girl, when she grew up, she had cancer as well. Everybody says cancer is genetic. So how come a girl who do not share the same DNA with the parents attracted cancer? Because she didn't know she was adopted. In her mind, it was her mother. So what her mother had, she had to have it. So she attracted it. That tells you that whatever science has been feeding you till now was just a lie. Sorry, but it was. What scientists tell you is your germ DNA. Actually, it's your ancestral DNA. You're carrying 7 generations of ancestors' DNA and trauma, belief, limiting belief of your ancestors. Have you guys noticed people in this pandemic where people go to the supermarket and full their trolleys and as if there is no tomorrow, and you go, but why this person is doing this? You know why this person is doing this? Because that person come from a line of people who have suffered famine, and his cell is reacting to that situation. Tomorrow there will be no food. Let's buy food now. And that person is doing unconsciously. That person cannot even see how wrong it is. Just because his ancestors suffered famine, he's still carrying the trauma in his DNA. This is how wonderful our beliefs. Was it interesting? You guys enjoyed it? Okay. So I would appreciate, yeah, Deborah, it's quite interesting what Deborah is saying, that she cannot accept the word no. So we need to know why she hates the word no. I love you too, Anna. Thank you very much for joining in. So I am at Illumination. I do Theta Healing. I'm a practitioner and instructor. So I teach Theta Healing as well. I do Angelic Reiki. I am a master teacher and I am a practitioner. Angelic Reiki is one of the most beautiful modalities of our modern time. So I channel the energy of the angelic kingdom of light. I do webinars on Angelic Reiki as well. You guys can go and see on Facebook. I have webinars, or you can join. I do meditation with the angels. I do meditation with the divine light, which is the energy of all that is. And I have done access consciousness, which is access bars. So we have 32 points on our head where we press, and it allows you to have a very stable mind, because our mind, as much as we like it and don't like it, it's an instrument we have in this human body to function. So access consciousness bars allow you to have, especially for people who suffer a very racy mind, it really allows you to be more settled, to have clarity. And you have heard people suffer from brain fog, where they say that they feel that there is something blocking them and they cannot think it straight, or they cannot, like, everything that they think is always about negative. So access bars allow you to have to get rid of all of this. And it's not therapeutic like Theta. Theta is very therapeutic. You speak. So people who don't like to be in a therapeutic session, I always advise them to do an angelic Reiki, because angelic Reiki is multidimensional anyway. So with angelic Reiki, you can clear your karmic debt codes, contracts. You can heal your ancestral genetic traumas, and your chakras are always cleared by the angels, align. And the beauty of angelic Reiki is that I am there to hold the space for you. The angelic kingdom of light decide which healing angel is assigned to you the time you were born, and that healing angel energy come through me to heal you. So I don't get to decide. It is you and your angel. I am just there as a mediator. So you can book session with Illumination for the time being. I think it's 20-minute free consultation on all my sessions. But for angelic Reiki, you have to be in person, because it's Reiki. I have to place my hand on your shoulders, and I have to be in person to be able to, for you to experience the modality. So I think it's time to say goodbye now, because I've been over 1 hour. And thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate so much. And I would really, really, really appreciate if you guys can give the feedback to Illumination. First, it's allow us, we work as a team with Illumination, all the healers, and it will allow us to bring changes to what we offer to all of you. And whatever we offer, it's from the bottom of our heart and with all the love of the world. I have a very funny accent because I speak 7 languages. So I hope it was clear. So if you give your feedback to Illumination, we can bring changes. And if you would like to join other of my webinars, you're free to do that. We do free webinars and meditation or paid one. I am with Illumination Abu Dhabi and Dubai. So you can find me on both sides. Bye, everyone. Bye, Anna. Thank you.